What would you do if someone suddenly threw a sharp comment your way? Maybe it's a stranger online, someone you've never met. Or worse, maybe it's someone close to you, someone who knows exactly where your heart is soft. Your chest tightens. Your heart pounds so loudly it drowns out reason. Your fingers hover over the keyboard, trembling, desperate to fire back the perfect reply. Your throat feels choked with anger, a mix of humiliation and disbelief swirling inside you. You feel small, dismissed, exposed, and in that storm of emotions, your dignity feels like it's on trial. Every part of you wants to fight back, to prove you cannot be treated this way. But humility steps in like an anchor in the middle of that storm. It doesn't silence the pounding heart immediately. It doesn't erase the sting of those words, but it steadies you. It gives you enough space to breathe, to remember that your worth is not measured by their cruelty and that not every fight deserves your voice. If this story is already speaking to you, I invite you to subscribe to A Story Behind Words. Here we explore the emotions hidden beneath silence, the quiet battles of the heart, and the words we rarely say out loud, but all carry within us. Humility is tested in the small, everyday moments. When a colleague steals credit for your idea in a meeting, when a friend betrays a confidence, leaving you exposed, when a family member insists on having the last word, even if it means bending the truth, when a stranger online throws an insult that lingers in your chest long after you've closed the app. In those moments, pride pushes us to react, to prove our worth by fighting back, to return wound for wound. But humility whispers something quieter. Don't let their words decide who you are. There was once a man who worked under broken promises. The rules changed again and again. His dignity was tested, his wages stolen, his loyalty unrecognized. Most would have burned with bitterness, but he chose to keep building his life, to focus on family and the future instead of revenge. And when the day came to meet his brother, a brother who once threatened his life, he bowed low, not in defeat, but in humility. That bow melted anger, and rage turned into reconciliation. Another man faced injustice in a quieter way. Every time he secured something, others claimed it as theirs. Again and again, he was pushed aside. But instead of fueling endless disputes, he moved forward, seeking peace. It looked like loss to some, but in truth, it was freedom. Even his rivals eventually saw the strength in his gentleness and respected him for it. When emotions run high, humility doesn't come naturally. It has to be chosen. And the first choice begins in the pause. In that pause, breathe. Let your chest rise and fall. Let the anger or shame be named. I feel dismissed. I feel small. I feel hurt. Naming the feeling is like opening a clenched fist. Suddenly, it doesn't grip you as tightly. The pause is not weakness, it's the doorway to wisdom. Then shift the focus. Bitterness grows when we circle endlessly around me. What I lost, what they did, what I deserved. Humility gently widens the lens. It asks, will this matter tomorrow, in a week, in a year? Most of the time, the answer is no. And even when the answer is yes, that question changes how heavy it feels in your heart. And then there is silence. Silence is not pretending everything is fine. It is choosing when your words will matter most. If speaking now only feeds their pride, then saving your voice is not surrender. It is strength. Silence can protect your dignity more than the sharpest comeback ever could. Letting go is perhaps the hardest, because part of us wants to hold on, to replay the scene in our heads, to imagine the perfect speech we never gave. But holding on keeps the pain alive. Letting go doesn't mean pretending it never hurt. It means refusing to carry what no longer belongs to you. Sometimes letting go means writing the words down and tearing the page. Sometimes it means speaking forgiveness out loud, even if the other person never hears it. And sometimes it simply means choosing not to rehearse the wound again in your mind. But maybe the hardest part is this: remembering your worth. Because when others mistreat us, it's easy to start seeing ourselves through their eyes, to believe their sharp words, to measure ourselves by their silence or their approval. Yet humility whispers something different. Your worth was never theirs to give, and it can never be theirs to take. Your worth lives in the way you endure, in your integrity when no one notices, in the quiet kindness you show, even when your own heart feels bruised. When you forget your worth, remember the times you overcame before, the nights you survived when you thought you wouldn't, the moments you chose gentleness over bitterness. Those memories are living proof of who you are, proof no one can take away. Our battles today don't look like ancient rivalries. They look like overlooked promotions, broken promises, social media cruelty, and family wounds that never fully heal. But the principle hasn't changed. Retaliation feeds pride. Humility disarms it. Humility doesn't mean pretending injustice isn't real. It means refusing to let injustice define your spirit. It means guarding your dignity without losing your peace. Humility is not bowing to others. It is rising above them. It is wisdom and restraint, strength and gentleness. So when emotions rise, when your dignity feels bruised, remember the pause, the shift of focus, the choice of silence, the release of letting go, and the reminder of your worth. You don't have to win every battle. Sometimes the greatest victory is peace. And if these words have touched you, I'd love for you to subscribe to A Story Behind Words. Together, we can keep uncovering the quiet strengths that change the way we live and love. Bitterness grows when we replay what should have happened. Peace grows when we choose who we want to become. Sometimes the sharpest weapon is not a louder voice, but a gentler heart. And humility, the kind that refuses to bow to cruelty, yet refuses to fuel it. That is the strength that disarms pride.